And welcome to I Am Co-Parenting. Thank you all for tuning in and happy Mother's Day weekend. Technically, it's the day before Mother's Day, but I'm gonna just kick back and have the whole weekend off. No kids here, even though I have one, but no kids here. And it's just me focusing on me, putting out some content for y'all, giving y'all a shout out to all my moms, all my friends that don't have their moms, and all my friends that do have their moms. Happy Mother's Day. I wish the best for you. I pray for your strength, your longevity, and your unrelentless support. Okay? I'm sorry, relentless support. I pray that you guys continue to just have peace in your hearts and in your minds. And, I just pray for you all to just have a great Mother's Day. And my heart goes out to you for those that don't. I especially wanted to say that. And as a specialty, I'm kind of thinking of doing like a Mother's Day panel. So leave a comment below. Leave a like if you like this idea. Tell me what you think. Share your thoughts. Let me know if you think a Mother's Day I am co-parenting panel should be up. I was really thinking of doing like people from different backgrounds, of course, to kind of share their experiences and what Mother Day means to them and how it affects them. I'm reaching out to some contacts, so shout out to y'all if I've reached out to you. Please respond back, or if you have responded back, thank you for letting me know. I'm going to try to move forward with this idea. I think it's a really good concept. So let's see if I can bring it to fruition. So you guys put positive vibes out there for me, positive energy and positive, wonderful prayers out for me and my journey for I Am Co-Parenting. Another news alert. I am also going to be trying to put I Am Co-Parenting into a charity form. So basically, I do want to kind of have the idea of me accumulating a community of parents and hopefully therapists. I'm speaking this into existence, guys. Parents and therapists to come together in a community where we can share tips. I can align parents with therapists, and we can essentially give our parents the support that they need to deal and manage their way through co-parenting. It's not easy. I always say there's no book for this. There's no book for parenting. So there's definitely not a book for co-parenting. And I think that we all share very similar journeys, so I just want to keep it in the forefronts of your mind. You guys, I'm working on lots of things behind the scenes for I Am Co-Parenting. And I just really pray that it all works out. Okay. So that's the news of the day, y'all. Aside of that, I wanted to share my co-parenting journey and how Mother's Day affects me. Okay, so let's get started. Once upon a time, no, I'm kidding. There was the birds and the bees. No, I'm kidding. So as you guys, some of my listeners, welcome if you're new. Hello, if you're not will say seasoned and experienced. Shout out to my friend that also told me that said, hey, you're not gonna put old on nothing on my name. I don't even care if it's a charger. So experienced, traditional, or just my oldies but goodies. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to my existing listeners. But if you're listening to this for the first time, no, I'm making good moves. I'm making big moves. And welcome to my village. I call my community my village because I do believe it takes a village to raise a child. So we are a community of villagers for each other here at I Am Co-Parenting. So stick around. You might like what you see. You might not like what you see. You might relate to what I'm saying. And if not, then at least you heard an opposing side and you were able to be objective. Because, baby, my story is different. Okay. And shout out to my mama who is on a cruise pretty much as we speak. Okay. So I don't have her location because it's acting real wonky, but pretty sure she is on a cruise. Holla at you, girl, and I hope you enjoy. And come home safe, please. Appreciate you. All right, so on to my co-parenting journey and Mother's Day. How Mother's Day affects me. So, for a lot of you that don't know about me, I am a co-parent to a non-involved parent, aka my son's father is never here. Okay, he might get a phone call or two, probably not. And it's like a seasonal thing too. So, mind you, he's not involved. So every day is my day with him. Every day is my expense. Every day it's my job. And I'm not complaining. I love my job. I signed up for this job and I'm okay with it most days. Some days are harder, especially when you get to have teenagers. Most days are harder, but I digress. So me not having my son or not having anybody to pick up the other end of this for my son is really like weighing down on me over recent years as he becomes a teenager who is stepping into young adulthood, and he's learning that he wants freedom. He's learning my age old saying, with freedom comes responsibility. So he's understanding he's got to handle more responsibilities. He appreciates stepping up. He likes to be in a more independent, mindset. So he wants, if he misses his bus, he walks to school. He'll let me know, but he misses his bus, he'll walk to school. He's not going to be relying on me to take him because it is within walking distance and reasonable walking distance. He is just in this mindset where he's ready to be a young man. And unfortunately, I don't have those young men minds, brain cells, and thinking and perspective to really give him any advice. I act like a lady and think like a man sometimes, but not always in the ways that I should for him. Things like arguing and learning to walk away from a heated argument and not bickering with a girl, whether it be your mom, a homegirl, a lady on the street. You know what I'm saying? Just no bickering should come of you. Limited. You can't put yourself in a woman's frame of mind, considering he's a cis male. You can't put yourself into a woman's way of thinking, because while you do want to appreciate the objective perspective, you also got to know, like, that's a woman. She's gonna bicker. She's gonna argue. She's gonna. I'm a woman. I'm gonna bicker. I'm gonna get my point. I want to get the last word. And that's it. Period. Nothing else. So just learning those things is really hard. So for me, Mother's Day means that I get a day off. And for me, this weekend, he's wanted a weekend off. He's like, girl, I need some time away from you. And I'm like, you know what? I think I need some time away from you too. It's funny. Like, I don't realize it until he says it. Because I'm always like, my bookie bag. Like, I'm trying to soak up every single savory moment with my son. Because I know he's like one secure job away from being out that door and traveling across the world. And I don't even know, I'm probably not going to be able to keep up with them. So with that being said, while I'm sitting here trying to soak up every little last moment, he's like, girl, too much. Like, you're doing too much, mom. And that's kind of like our words of like, you're ODing in his words, like, you ODing it, mom, like, which is not my favorite word, but it's just kind of letting me know that I got to back off with the, helicopter mom stuff. Give him some space, some breathing room. Let him be a man. Let him be a man, mom. I'm sure some of you moms have heard that. Let him be a man. Let him be a man. How that kind of hurt. But while I'm out here trying to let him do that, my weekend is off. Now I do have to go transport him from point A to point B because of parameters and boundaries that I set as a mom. But I'm okay with that. It's part of my mommy duties. And then I'm back outside. Like this weekend is my weekend off. Go find a friend's house to stay over. Go find a couple friends' houses to stay over. Make it enough. That's my phrase. Make it enough. Okay. Make it enough. Because what I'm not going to do is babysit you this weekend. You want to be a young man? You want to be free? You want to be grown? You want to be mature? You want to be like, I can handle my own stuff and I need you to check in on me or baby me, mom? Cool. Go do it. And then what do I get? Bing, bing, bing. Mom, can you bring me to, do I get to come home first before I go out? Because I can get ready. Get ready. Boy, you better do that wherever you was going. Boy, you better do that where you at. Boy, you better figure it out. Get ready. No, homie. Consider me a Uber today. Pick up, drop off. I'm gonna play music. Don't even talk to me. I'm not in mommy mindset. I am in grown woman outside mindset. And of course, he's not trying to hear none of that. But Mother's Day for me has always been like this. It's not always been a day off for me, but it's always been a reminder that while I have this day to myself, when Father's Day comes around, it's still a day. It's still me. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to start taking off Father's Day weekend too. Like, figure it out. Like, you know what? Because he's of age. Like, my son is a high schooler. So while it was cute, we could do those mommy and me dates when he was younger, which we are doing. We're going to go see Sinners as a mommy and me date. But like the weekend, I'm off. Baby, clocked out. Baby, if clocking out was a thing, baby, like them little Looney Tunes cartoons, baby, clock me out. I'm out. I'm done. Ooh. Like I say that with a passion because y'all, I mean it with a passion. You know it's hard out here for a mom who's just single in the streets trying to live alone. Okay? It's hard. And I'm taking these days off. And so Mother's Day for me has always just been an awakening, a realization, a reminder that you are doing this alone. And I have a little bit of support. I have a great village. But as far as like co-parenting to support, I have a little bit. Sometimes his dad's family will come stop through, but they're out living their lives because it's not their kid. So I don't have no hard feelings towards that at all. I just know like I can't expect them to do anything because it's not their job. A lot of people might disagree, and a lot of people might say, "Hey, it's their job. They need to be supporting you. That's their baby, grandbaby too." And it's like, yes, he is the only grandchild on that side of the family. However, I know I'm not going to let Tyler's kids and relationship stop me from being great. I'm going to make him accountable. That's what I'm going to do. Me as a mom, I'm going to make my son accountable when he has kids. And I make him accountable now. Like I raised my son to be accountable because I understand by default he's genetically predisposed by his father to not be accountable and to run away from his problems. So I raised my son to have emotional intelligence, to be able to recognize that there's a problem, to be able to express, hey, I'm not feeling right, whether he can express the problem in definition or not. Like he can explain like, hey, I need a second, something ain't right. I'm off. He can say that. So I can pat myself on the back. Proud my moment. Okay. Pat myself on the back and say, hey, like you're doing a good job. Chick, you 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 doing a good job. Sorry, I just had to give myself that little celebration. But yeah, like I'm really doing a good job with him. And honestly, I've had situations and I've heard of situations, I've discussed situations where, and this will be another episode where having a co-parent that doesn't fully want to and show up as a good co-parent can be even more of a problem than them not being there. I think I'm worse, but there's worse. You know, it is getting worse. Life will definitely show you that somebody has it worse off than you. I know that's true. Okay. Oh, let me close the window. I don't know if it's making a microphone. Oh. But there is situations where you could have a toxic co-parent and you could have a toxic co-parent and they could be prominent in that child's life, giving them all types of tough times and giving them mental stress, and that's worse. So although my son only has one parent to go to, he doesn't always, sometimes when you have a dual parent situation, you have the other parent fighting for the kid. He sometimes don't have nobody to fight for him when it's mom versus kid. But at the end of the day, I make it a point to give my son high morale, a conscious, emotional intelligence, empathy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to give him a good balance of all of that. Now, whether he takes it in and how he interprets it is between him and his therapist. Okay. But I'm giving it to him. And he doesn't have another negative influence to say, hey, but you can come on over here and do whatever you want. Like, that's not happening. Or somebody like, hey, da 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 while he's somewhere else with his father getting the like nasty attitude all the time because his dad's a bitter person. Like, it happens. Men can be bitter too. Dare I say it, I'm always one to fight for equal rights for the co-parent, but there are situations where there are bitter baby mamas, and there are definitely situations where there are bitter baby daddies. And not necessarily bitter towards the co-parent, just bitter at life. Okay, just miserable in general. So there's people like that I'm just glad I don't have an influence on my son as he's growing up and developing into this young adult. I do wish he had some more male role models, male leaders that he could come to on a more frequent basis. He is in basketball, so that does help quite a lot. However, if he didn't have that, him and I would butt heads like crazy. And I could definitely see how idle hands are the devil's playground when it comes to a teenager, because then that's when the streets be calling on. I can hear the streets talking. You know what I'm saying? Then next thing you know, in walk Future instead of my son. And I'm like, sir, who are you? I don't know these influences you've been around. So I'm very appreciative that the influences that I've had him around have been positive. They have been co-supportive with me, his coaches and things like that, his teachers, principals, anybody he's associated with is pretty much like appreciating me as a mother and respecting my values and my boundaries. So I'm grateful for that. Mother's Day reminds me that I do all of this by myself. I need a pat on the back and a drink. Okay. I'm gonna get a little bit of both. Okay, I just did that to back away from the phone. I'm not being extra this time. So yeah, now on the other side of things, mi madre. As the Africans say. I might be a dog call, but anyway, shout out to my African moms. I love y'all. I really do. Like, I have a couple friends that have one, and I just love them. They're so mommy like, they're like the epitome of mom, and I'm here for it. Anyway, so I digress. My situation, my mom, she is very much my Mother's Day and how I feel about how it affects me with my mom is very much, girl, bye, I'm going on vacation. I'll see you later. Okay, girl, have a good time. I've been out the house for a minute now. My mama been enjoying Mother's Day, doing everything she wants to do. And then sometimes sitting at the house doing nothing because that's what she wants to do. So I really, you know, I've always appreciated that. And growing up, when I celebrated Mother's Day, my grandma always sent me a card, and I still got some of them. And shout out to Katie Sue. I look at your cards, girl. I look at your cards. Because I love you. Okay. But anyway, sorry, that's a shout out to my granny. But yeah, so she used to send me cards, and me and my mom, I really don't even remember what we used to do for Mother's Day. It might have been a dinner, probably was a Luby's dinner, because girl, my mama can love some Luby's, honey. It would be a Luby's dinner, period. Okay, a Luann plate at Luby's, and if you anywhere from the South, especially Texas, baby, you know how that Luann plate hit. Okay, and that was really it. Like she was one of those people that always like bought things for herself. I'm not saying she didn't buy anything for me because she was very financially supportive, always to this day. You know what I'm saying? She will at the concession stand, she'll buy my food for me. Like she just, that's her love language, and I respect it. But like growing up, we didn't do like motherly things. Like we didn't do Mother's Day card. Like at school, we did Mother's Day cards, but at home, it was just like a dinner. We probably went to my granny occasionally. And I would just go outside when my mama sat there in the house, talk to my granny. So, like, I don't recall just like making Mother's Day a big deal. Now, I know in some families, Mother's Day is the day, baby. Mama, granny, auntie, sister, cousin, big mama, you know what I'm saying? Big mama sisters. Like, we all going to the event at granny's house. And on my daddy's side, they will do that. They will go to my granny's house and celebrate everybody's Mother's Day, and especially the matriarch, which is my granny. Shout out to Granny Hodges. Yeah, she's got the big house on the land, and we all pull up, and it's like woo 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 woo, and all that. The silence hits because I really miss doing that, and right now I'm in like a no contact situation with my father, and it kind of puts me in a weird space because while I'm cool having off on my Mother's Day, my mama off doing her vacation thing on Mother's Day. Meanwhile, my daddy, I'm probably not going to hear from him on Mother's Day. Let's be honest. Let's put it out there. I'm not. Never have, to be clear. Not for Mother's Day. I can make excuses and I could excuse him. But I'm just going to say it for what it is. I don't hear from him. How does it make me feel? I force myself to feel indifferent because if I feel any other way, it's not going to make a difference. Collect that tea. That side of my family this year especially has experienced a loss, a big loss to the family dynamic. And one of my uncles has passed, and his widow is kind of, it's Mother's Day for her. When that happens, we're definitely going to make big and celebrate at her house and do some, turn up and whatever. So I know for sure, it ain't got nothing to do with my daddy. You know what I'm saying? That's just like that side of the family. But because I'm in no contact with my father, I just don't really feel comfortable showing up at those events at my granny's house. I'm always welcome. This is what I know. Nobody's ever going to be like, what's she doing here? And so like I'm choosing to not make that a part of my weekend, and it hurts. It really hurts. It bothers me a lot, as you can probably see on my face if you're looking at this. But like if you've seen my Instagram, you've seen a couple posts for today, like a lot of posts about no contact for parents, because this is why I wanted to talk about it. Because while some parents, some sides of the family, you might have great experiences in, there might be other sides of the family that's just like, oh, I don't talk to them or I don't fool with them at all. You know what I'm saying? I fool with my family. I just don't fool with my dad right now. There's things that I'm learning to process so that I can have that conversation with him and be comfortable saying the things that I need to say to him, whether or not he receives it or not. And I'm like working on processing that right now. So it's no contact. And why is it like that? Because he no contacts me. But that's story for another day, y'all. Like we'll say that story for Father's Day, okay? Like, oh my God. So yeah. So I get to my Mother's Day on my father's side is a great big event. We're like all in my granny's house. We're eating, we're drinking, we're partying, it's a big celebration. And I love that. Like, to be honest, that is my passion because it's family time and I love seeing all my family and I love just seeing their faces, seeing them smile, seeing my family come together. We used to be really, 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 really close. Like every other weekend was at Granny house, partying, setting up, doing something. But now, people have moved on with their lives. Things have happened. People have separated. People have moved on. People have passed away. And it's just a different dynamic now. It's really hard to see how things have changed, but it feels like we're coming back around. And what's going on between me and my father won't be forever. Hopefully, I can maybe set a goal to try to have a conversation with him soon. It's kind of like my personal experience. So leave a comment or a message if you're like no contact, or leave a comment or a message if you're like you have advice for some people in my situation, because I know a lot of people who are in no contact with their moms. And guess what? It's okay, because you have to protect yourself. I only say it's okay because sometimes you have to take a step back to heal before you can move forward with healing with other people, with sharing your feelings of where that pain is coming from. So it's not good to just have no contact with your family, but it is good to take a step back and process, give yourself time to mentally process what's going on, emotionally process what's going on, figure out how you feel. Hey, does this bother me on Mother's Day? Hey, do I hate her enough? Oh, God forbid you hate your mama, but do I hate her enough to not talk to her? Can you at least send a happy Mother's Day message? I challenge you. I challenge all my listeners as a part of my I Am Co-Parenting community. I challenge you guys to set a goal. If you are no contact, and if it's for any reason other than abuse, reach out to your mother and say, I love you. Happy Mother's Day. Don't expect a response if you're no contact. Don't do it. Don't expect that from them. Because what I've learned from mothers that can't give is that sometimes it's just not in them. Like you and I, we're making efforts. We're making efforts to do better. We're making efforts to build a community. We're making efforts to learn. Right? It's not in the generations before us. They weren't built like that. So the expectation for them, I had to stop doing that in some circumstances. I had to stop pouring emotionally into my mother because I realized she doesn't have it to emotionally support me back. You know what I'm saying? If I'm looking for her for consolation because I had a sad day, because I went through a hard time, she's not going to be able to give me that. I love you, mama, but it's the truth. You're not going to be able to give that to your child if you weren't, as a parent, raised or choosing to learn or do better in that environment. Most moms of that age are just like, hey, I am who I am, girl, just be lucky I made it out alive and this is me. And that's okay, because mental health wasn't a big thing back then. We have to understand our parents didn't come from a time where sharing information like this was a thing. They didn't have great forums like we do. They didn't have anybody coming out and saying, hey, let me help you with a handout. They ain't got that. We're queens. They are too, but they didn't have help from other queens and kings. But like, they just didn't have that. So I challenge you to send a message and say, hey, I love you. Happy Mother's Day. Boom. That's it. Take a step back, mic drop. Boom. That's all I got for you today. If they respond with toxicity, block it out. Because my challenge today is for you to do better for yourself. You to take a step towards healing. You to lead by example. Because once people see that, hey, you have the qualities, you have what it takes, you have the self-discipline to say, hey, and the knowledge, the emotional intelligence to say, hey, she's doing something I don't ever see people do. She's doing something different. She's not being salty. She's not being bitter. Then sometimes they'll be like, oh, okay. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, that's her. Now I ain't doing what she do because that's her. And that has to be okay too. What I'm learning is you have to be okay with people when you see them and where they are at in life. You got to be okay with where they're at in life. You may think that person should be, especially your parents, you may think that person should be way more advanced emotionally, intelligently, supportively. You might think they need that. However, it's not always like that. So you have to be okay with them being in a space where you're willing to pour into them and not receive anything back. Hey, I'm willing to be nice to you, even though you might try to bite the hand that feeds you. Kind of like what you do with your teenagers. Very much teenager interaction. You got to be the bigger person. You got to be the more emotionally intelligent. You got to be the more experienced, the more behaved, the more well-mannered person. Do you have to is subjective. But in my opinion, for you to be a good person inside, it's helpful. You might come up with other ideas, and that's great. My solution ain't for everybody. My solution is just a solution for people similar to me. I'm a Virgo. You might be a Taurus or a Scorpio. That level of forgiveness might not be in ya. And that's okay. You might not even believe in astrology, but guess what? You feel like it ain't in you, and that's okay. But what I'm asking, part of your healing is to say Happy Mother's Day and I love you. Because if you really love your parent, if you're really thinking about it, if you're really hurt, if you're really affected by the thing that they've done to you, then that means you'll love them. Because if you didn't love them, I believe you wouldn't care. And even sometimes when you don't care, it still means you love them. You just compartmentalizing. So just do it. See what happens. If toxicity ensues, don't engage. Don't engage. Take a step back and say, you know what? At least they know. Because if your mom goes tomorrow, you're going to be sad. And I don't know this because fortunately, I have not lost my mom. But unfortunately, there are women out there that have. There are people out there that have. And they know what it's like to not be able to tell your mom, I love you. Have a good day. Happy Mother's Day. I can't wait to spend another one with you. Or maybe one day we'll get to sit down and do lunch together. Or maybe one day I'll see you in heaven and be able to sip on tea and eat crumpets. Whatever it is. One day you're gonna miss it. So go ahead and engage today and do what you can. And make your Mother's Day better for yourself by healing. Now, I'm not a therapist. This is not medical advice. This is community advice. This is me sharing my experience. And this is what we do here at Co-Parenting. This is me telling you guys, hey, this worked for me. And it may not work for everybody. I totally respect that. But for those that think it could, give it a try. And that is why I want to have a panel, guys. Okay. Because eventually I want to be able to have someone who has a deep relationship with their mother. I want to bring somebody on that's navigating a challenging relationship with their mother. I want to bring somebody on with professional input. And I'm going to bring somebody on whose mother is no longer with us. Because really, perspective will help you see a lot of things that you probably can't. Okay, welcome to I Am Co-Parenting. Oh, it's been a lot of unloading for like 30 something minutes. Okay, it's been a lot. And if you're only seeing a segment of this, please go back and watch the rest because y'all, I'm divulging a lot of interesting information. And yes, it's just me for now, but there will be more. So stay tuned, lock in. Let's get locked in. Like, comment, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Like, be a part of this community. You ain't even got to have kids. I had one of my friends listening. She don't even have kids. And I appreciate her because she felt what I was saying. You ain't even got to have kids to be a part of the community. A couple of people in my community don't even have children. They got fur babies. And guess what? I'm a co-parent to a fur baby. How does that work? I am the non-involved co-parent. I get her a couple of days every other month or so. Baby, I am the sorriest baby mama. I'm not sorry. I'm just limited action. You know what I'm saying? I'm limited involvement with the puppy in question. I just, I just take her when her mama go out of town when she need a sitter. What can I say? I call myself the sorry baby daddy of the relationship, y'all. Can y'all believe it? And she goes with it. My friend goes with it. But anyway, I digress. Thank you for listening to my stories today. I hope you take a step back and realize that Mother's Day means a lot more than what you just think of it as. Some people, and yeah, I might be guys, some people just overlook it like, oh, it's just another day. But when you really look at the history and the emotion and the support that goes behind a mom, I hope you look at it and value it a lot more, especially when you have a mom, especially when you don't know what your mom's been through to get here today, to get you here to today, to endure and make it to the next day. It's hard. It's hard being an adult. It's even harder being a mom because now you got to look out for another little adult and you got to teach them everything that you know, which God forbid, you know what I'm saying, keeps them alive. God forbid something happens to them and it keeps them alive. You know what I'm saying? So big ups to all my mothers on Mother's Day. Ooh, that was terrible. Okay, let's try this again. Big ups to all my moms on Mother's Day. This is your host, Aurora Michonne, your I Am Co-Parenting hostess with the mostest. And I'm about to clock out and go have a ball this evening. At least try to. All right, well, co-parenting out.